right, welcome wingers and wingettes to another episode here. And today we're going to dive deep into a really great conversation that not many want to speak about, but a lot we should be saying, and a lot we should be, letting our people know that we got you, we're here. We're talking about mental health and anxiety today. But today I have another podcaster from Top 10 Pods is here with us. Thank you so much for coming on this episode today. How are you?
I'm very well. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you very much, and sorry for getting you up so early.
No, you're fine. You're all the way in UK, right?
I am.
Yes. I'm normally up early, so this was perfect. Get one in and just relax for the rest of the day. Have some coffee or whatever I have to do. But this was a great time, and I'm really great that we were able to connect and come together and speak. And I remember the one funny thing you said to me was like, "Are you okay with speaking with an older gentleman? I don't want to say your age unless you want to." And I'm like, "Sure."
I don't care. I was 55 in August, and my wife has always said that I'm not allowed to shave my beard off because people don't believe that I'm 55. Just because
I did not.
Well, I dress. I'm like Kevin Smith. I dress like a 20-year-old, and I've got a man cave just full of Star Wars and God knows
I love it. I see it.
all kinds of shit in here. So it is that kind of thing, and I think it's something that's pertinent to what we're going to talk about, in the fact that if you can have a youthful mind, it kind of helps you. Because if you look back, say, I don't know, 50 years, somebody that was 55, that was old age. And that was, in our country, pipe and slippers, cardigan, sit by the fire, do nothing. Yeah. Whereas these days, you want to, I love creating stuff. And that's my whole thing, is that you feel like, what's the point of anything if you can't create stuff or just do stuff that is hopefully going to make people smile? So
exactly,
that's kind of one of the things. And I don't know whereabouts you are in the US, but I was just wondering whether you might like my T-shirt. Does that mean anything to you?
Queens, and I should know what that means, right? What is it?
That's Buc-ee's.
Why don't I know what that is?
Well, Buc-ee's, I mean, I don't know 100% what it is. We've got a lot of.
He's a cute little guy.
We got a lot of friends and listeners in America, and I've been to America twice this year. I've been on holiday, and I went to meet some friends as well. And I believe it's like a convenience store, like this massive supermarket thing.
Maybe it's in Manhattan.
Yeah, I think it's in Texas and places like that where they have they have gas pumps, like 100 gas pumps outside, and it is like massive.
What? That would not. I'm in New York City.
Right.
That right there. We have Sunoco, we have Amoco, we have different gas stations like that. That would possibly, definitely, maybe Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, things like that for sure. Like a Wally, everybody knows. A Wawa. And I'm like, okay, I know that gas station, so.
Yeah,
I should.
Yeah, and a friend of mine, when I went over to LA for my birthday in August, dropping names, and they got me a couple of like Buc-ee T-shirts and things like that. And when I came home, I was going through Heathrow Airport, and there was a couple of Americans, and they went, "Hey, Buc-ee's!" And I went, "Yeah." So it's kind of like, I think it's obviously whatever part of the US you would understand what it is, and I suppose even some people don't, but obviously. But.
No, shoot, I've never seen it. I've been, before we really get to it, I've been to UK, and my first time going, and it was for Thanksgiving. I was in 10th grade, and we went for Thanksgiving holiday. And I realized you guys do not celebrate Thanksgiving. No. That's why my cousin she said, "We're going to have Thanksgiving. Don't worry." She's not from there. Her husband is top in the business, so they fly and live everywhere. So they made sure we had Thanksgiving, but I went to Harrods. Yeah, Harrods. And everybody has all the Christmas stuff. And I'm like, do they not know this is Thanksgiving? I didn't know. But I've become fascinated with the UK. They think I'm just crazy. They always thought I was going to move out there. Like, Cassandra's going to move out there. I probably would. I just love it. And, I watch everything UK, even The Crown. I'm just like,
really?
It was like, yes, we can do this podcast together, whether you were from here or not.
So what part of the UK did you go to?
We went to Camden Town.
Right. So you were just in London, yeah?
Yeah, yes. I
Nice.
was just in London. So London and Camden Town, and did a lot of sightseeing, and saw the Queen's Bloody Tower, and yeah.
Yeah, I went there with my wife and my mum about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We went for the day because where we
Yeah.
live is
I wish
about
I could
70.
just
Yeah, it's about 70 miles away from London, so we just hopped on the train and you're there in an hour. And we just, I can, because of the history of London, I could just walk around the streets for hours and hours because even
Yes,
somebody that I've been there numerous times, it is fascinating just seeing the
it
history
is.
of the place. It is crazy.
It is. It is.
Mm.
And everybody thinks London Bridge is the big bridge when it's really a small bridge.
It is. Tower Bridge is the one you want to,
Yeah,
is the one you need to walk
exactly.
across.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, we came here today to talk about mental health and anxiety, and you brought that up to me first, and I said we can definitely did that. I did a mental health episode not too long ago, but it was getting my friends' perspectives, two females, and it's like I don't really speak to the male side on. I haven't gotten the male side perspective on how they deal with mental health and
Mm.
anxiety. And then for me as a female speaking on mental health and anxiety, I really don't go into it. I've always been this happy, smiling person. And then as I get older and experience life more, and experience how other people develop in their minds and their attitudes and the way they speak and the way they do things, I realize a lot of things don't become, it's not for me. And then, I've taken COVID where we're home in 2020, and I'm a homebody. I enjoy it.
Right.
I love it. I'll stay home. I'll do whatever I can do to stay home and play video games and do what I need to do. And then my friend asked me, well, how have you been since COVID? I said, I'm great. I'd love to stay home. But I realized I go outside and I'm looking at everybody like I haven't seen you guys in a while. I start getting a little bit frantic when I'm in like certain areas, and I don't really talk about it, speak about it, or and then sometimes a wave of depression does come as a cloud, and then it puts me in a mood where I don't even want to be here, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And I tell my wife, like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know like what it is, but this is just how I feel right now. So I know you wanted to speak on that. What is your intake on that? You say you were feeling a little bit, a certain
Yeah.
way.
Well, I've had a history of it over quite a few years, and
Hmm.
I can't remember. I think it was probably about 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay.
I had a really bad bout of it, and I was off work for like 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that it really affected me to the point where I couldn't function.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and I always, whenever it happens, I always look at myself and think I've got nothing to be distressed about. I've got a wonderful family. I've got I've got a job. I've got a house. I've got food in the cupboards. All of those basic things that you need to function, I have. So
Right.
there is, and that I think is the thing that makes me question my own brain more than anything else, is because it's not, I didn't have a bad childhood. I had a wonderful childhood. I've got a mother and father that loved me, that are
Hmm.
still, they're still alive. I was lucky in the fact I had young parents, so they are relatively young, even for an old fart like me who's 55. They're relatively young and mobile, and I see them every week. So
Yeah. Same.
when it does hit, and it happens more regularly, I think it's because of getting old,
Mm.
because you start realizing once I hit 50, you kind of, there's this automatic realization that you've had more of your life behind you than what you've got in front of you. Now,
Right.
some people's minds might say, so you grasp every moment. Let's make every moment like it's your last, which is the right way to do it. Or you can let it,
Yeah.
you can go down and start thinking, God, if I'm lucky, I've maybe got 30 more Christmases. And that's like looking at an egg timer, because every
Hmm.
time a day goes past, you think that's one less day. Oh my God. But I don't know whether
You start analyzing.
I don't know whether with you, I've had it where I know when I'm literally just coming out of a bad bout of depression. 2 weeks ago, I know when it is, because I literally say to myself, oh, fuck, here we go again. And I know it's happening, and there's
Oh
nothing I can
yeah.
do. Yeah, there's nothing I
Yeah.
can do. The
Mm-hmm.
last time it happened, which was last year, back in October of last year, this shows you how bad it was. It was so bad, I started a podcast about it. And that is, you're in trouble when the first thing you think to help you. So I started a podcast called The Big Black Bear, because that's what I call it. It's the big black bear is coming and putting his arms on your shoulders. And I started, because I was off, I started talking to people and I recorded it. And I did about 10 or 11 episodes.
Right. Okay.
And I need to get back into it. I really do. But
yeah, the big black bear. I like that.
yeah, but it ends up becoming a thing where, and this last time when I knew I was in trouble,
right,
there were things going on at work that were adding to the anxiety. But it becomes that feeling that if somebody just picked me up and took me away, for everybody else nothing would change. So what is my point of really being here? Now, it's not for me to say that I would go and do anything. You know, I wouldn't do anything to myself, because the thought of the pain that would give to, you know, my parents, my wife, my children, my grandchildren would be too immense to think about. But I know I'm in trouble. I know I'm in trouble when this happens, and I know that it's something. It's weird because my wife's. I'm very heart on my sleeve, very emotional. May find this out in the next however long we're going to talk, because I may just break down in tears. But my wife is very, come on, get up, let's go, come on, let's do this, come on, and very, you know, let's go. But when I broke down in front of her one night, she realized that this is different. This isn't like, I'm not trying to just get time off work or something. There's something seriously wrong. And she's a lot more hands-on, sort of caring now and making sure that I'm okay, which is lovely. But when that big black bear comes, that's when I know I'm in trouble. And what my wife said, you need to try and let it wash over you. Don't try and fight it. You know it's going to happen. Just think of all the great things you've got in your life. Right. And, you know, and I don't know if that's the same for everybody else. I'm sure that everybody else deals with it in different ways. Like, I mean, you probably do as well.
I relate to you like way too much right now, because when you started, I said I grew up with both my parents. I've had everything I wanted. I've traveled to the UK at 10, and it doesn't stop. I've went on multiple trips, numerous trips, so many family functions, so many hugs, snuggles, everything given to me, and I am the only child. I had a beautiful wedding. I have a wonderful wife. We have dogs. We have god kids. We have our own apartments that we've just, you know, and you know, maybe I'll have this podcast, a stream. I'm have everything, and I have so many friends, and I have so many parties, and I'm always happy. I'm always having these moments, great moments. And then that's great that you said the big black bear, because when the anxiety comes over, I'm like, no, not right now. And I'm even saying, I start like, oh my gosh, right now, you know, and I'm like, right now when I'm about to possibly stream, or I'm about to think of the next thing that I'm doing at my computer, because I'm always doing something on the computer, multitasking, keeping myself busy. And I'm like, when it comes on, my wife's like, all right, let's get up, let's go the same way. And I'm like, that's just not gonna do it for me. The outside is not gonna do it for me. However, I always like to find a way to call out of work. I'll still go to work, but I'm I'm not looking for the exit for work. Like, I had to just have that moment when I literally broke down in her arms last month or two. And I was like, I just don't want to be here. I'm not gonna hurt myself, because I feel that I'm too much of a punk to even go that far. I wouldn't even. However, I just felt like, what is the point? And when it comes in, I'm like, what is the point of me being here? If I'm here, you guys will be A-okay. It's the less person you have to make sure this is in the house for. Like, you know, like, this is, why am I needed here? I'm a genuine friend. I give and I feel like that's also contributing. I'm a genuine friend. I give everybody my all. And when you give that to certain people, they don't even know how to reciprocate love. So sometimes people become, you know, negligent to you and your feelings, and then you don't hear from a lot of people that you do everything for, or you don't hear from a lot of people that always look for a handout, or you give somebody your energy and what you get back is, all right, cool. And then it feels like when that big black bear comes, what do I need to be here for? They're clearly great, or everything will still move smoothly, or here's that, here's this, and I'm like somebody that set like I don't even want to say sadly because I probably will help them out. If I see somebody about to get hit by a car, I'm that type of person. I'm gonna run in and see if I can save you, because those moments will come where you feel like you just don't want to be here, and it's like let somebody else thrive.
Yeah.
I'm 31, and right now, like what you said, you're 55, so you have those type of feelings, like maybe because I'm getting old. 55 to me is still young. I mean, my mom is 65, don't even look like the ages that you guys say you are. And every time I'm on camera, they're like, "You're lying. You're 13 or 14." I'm like, "No, I'm not. This is the skincare. I don't even use the regular lotion. I'm just 30, 31 years old." But when that depression comes, I sit there like, what's the reason why you think you feel like this? I don't know. I don't really have an answer for you. Nothing ruined. We were eating a great dinner, having a great day, played a great game,
Mm.
and it just comes. I have no reason,
No.
but the reasons that it wants me to tell you is the purpose of not being here is right now. So there's just no purpose,
No.
and that's just how I feel.
I agree. The other thing is, and I mentioned this on the podcast that I did. I also like sing in pubs and clubs around the area, so I sing to the backing track. So I'm stuck in the corner of a pub sometimes, just singing, a bit of Oasis or a bit of whatever. So I've got a bit of a name for myself in the town that I live in. I was born here, I've lived here all my life, so people know me. But there are days, and exactly the same on days when I'm recording a podcast. You don't necessarily want to do it, so you've got to put this mask on.
Always.
And it becomes so physically and mentally exhausting to have to be, because like I've got a gig tonight, and I don't particularly want to go out tonight. I would rather, get a Chinese takeaway, sit in front of the TV, and just eat and watch terrible television. That's all I want to do, But I know that I've got to go out, and no matter what mood I'm in, as soon as I get to the venue, I've got to go, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, whoa, hey, how you doing?"
Yeah,
and I've got to be like that all night. I cannot go in and start a song and go, "Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to sing a song for you now." Nobody wants to see that. Yeah. You've got to be the life and soul of the party. The same as when you're hosting a podcast.
Yeah,
so it becomes that kind of thing where you're. And people will say to me, "You're so confident. Oh my God, I wish I." And I just say to them, "That's a character. I'm not that person up there. I would love to be that person that I am when I'm singing. If I was, I wouldn't have got laid when I was 18. I would have been laid a lot earlier than that. I would have, if I.
Yeah.
It's just that thing of having that confidence that it's a completely different person. And I can see why, I'm only playing to 20, 30 people in a pub or a club.
That's still a
imagine these people. Yeah, imagine these people that are playing to 60, 70,000 people.
And they feel the same way. I know they feel the same way.
But that high they must feel coming out off of that stage, you can see why they turn to drink and drugs and God knows what to keep that high. So it's all relative, I know, but it doesn't help. I mean, look, I love doing it. I love podcasting. I've been doing it 11 and a half years. I haven't laughed so much with my co-host Neil and the amazing people that we've spoken to and things like I would never have known who you are and been able to speak to you because if it wasn't for podcasting. And the singing, I've done so many wonderful things and sung in front of thousands of people and it's had some amazing experiences. But there are times when you just wish you could just curl up into a blanket and just not do anything, and that to me is the definition of depression. I think in the fact that sometimes you just have to put that mask on and put that fake smile on and pretend to be someone that you're not.
That's so true, and everybody's expecting you to come out tonight, and then that's like, dang, I don't come out tonight, do I lose these certain people or that someone's depending on me? Because I've always been that person, like before I live stream and play this game, I'm like, all right, get it together. Sometimes I gotta go get it together. Let's go. Come on, Kaz. We gotta do this. We possibly will stream for an hour or two, and then after that, you could just relax or whatever. But I feel like everybody gets into character. Like you said, I want to be that person on stage. You are. that person on stage, because everyone has to get into character before they shoot their film, before they
Yeah.
do the podcast, before they start singing, before they just start, because they have to keep the joy of others, because that thrives for them as well. They have to either keep the income as well. They have to keep the facade of what's going on. And then once you want to stop it and just do your own thing, people are like, what are you, crazy? I've been crazy. I just had to put on this outfit for you because this is what you and you enjoy, and I in a way enjoy it. Like a lot of people, I want to make friends, I want to do this, but a lot of people really don't want friends. They want the joy of knowing that they can go out and make friends, but they want the comfort and security to just say, I'll stay at home. I love my Netflix. I like to just be in my own be my own person, and
Yeah.
go about it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I agree. And also the other thing is like I feel sorry for my wife because she never gets the good deal, if you like. So all the people that I meet out and about, whether it's podcasting or singing, they get that good version of me. They get that, hey, how you doing? The confident person. So they all think that's who I am. And then my wife gets the moody, grumpy bastard that is just like is tired and can't raise a smile and doesn't want to be, hey, how you doing? So but she's the one. She's like the one that I love, and she's the one that I would love to be that for. And so she's kind of like thinking, well, I know, I never signed up for this. I want the confident guy that I kind of fell in love with, But that's real life, which is another thing.
Yes.
Real life but apart from, I mean, any of this where we're going to talk for however long we're going to talk and then go off and do our own separate things. I'm acting now, if you like, because I'm trying to be engaging and or entertaining or whatever. But it's such a double-edged sword. It really is.
People, like I said, people don't understand the back end of everything.
No.
We're gonna have this conversation like we have right now, and the moment we hit end, we're both gonna take this off and say, "All right, well, let's take this suit off here, this cape." And gave everybody what we need to give out. It'll come out when it come out, but I'll be heading back to the bed, or I'm about to lounge back. But it's like right now, the difference a lot with you and I is right now I'm able to give. I give, like my wife will say, I give everybody the Cassandra that they just know or experiencing, and they get the happy and chill. And she'll say the same thing you just said. So it's, and not me, I get the Cassandra that wants to be sassy or you want to be grumpy or moody. Why can't you just give me the same energy that you gave your little gaming friends?
Yeah.
The same thing, and we always will have that back and forth. Like not every second of the day, like we'll joke a lot. I'm still in my joking prime. I'm still in the taste. I feel like it's the taste of depression, because like I said, when it comes, it's rare moments, because every day I'm still like the same way I'm with you right now. I'll get off and I'll still make jokes. I still want to laugh. I still want to still be in my own bubble and stuff like that. And then when the emotions come. When the depression comes, it's like a rare moment. So then everybody will get the kind of attitude. But if my mother calls on the phone, hey mom, how you doing? No, I'm okay. I'm sitting here, because they don't know. They'll know now if they watch this episode. But they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
And that is another thing as well, is like, if my kids had a podcast and they were talking about the fact that they feel like this.
They do have a podcast, you said?
No, they don't. But if they did, it would break my heart if I watched and known that they were doing. So when my mum is an avid, she watches our episodes when they're on YouTube. And she loves watching them. She loves watching the top 10 podcasts. But with that, we don't talk about, depression and stuff like that. But I know it would break her heart if she knew this sort of stuff. And she does know that I struggle with it. I mean, it's like myself and my brother, we both kind of struggle with it. But it's that thing of like, you don't want the people that you love to really know what you're going through, because like I say, I have no hair, and it's because I've got 5 children, and I worry the shit every day. I always thought it would be easier when they got older, because when you're young, when they're young, they can hit their head on the corner of a table and fall over, fall downstairs, drop things on their head. And it is a constant worry that you have to watch them all the time. And you think, well, that's
Mm-mm.
okay. When they're older, they can look after themselves.
Nope.
It is so much worse because you
Because you
don't
don't
know
know
where
what
they
decisions
are.
they're making. Yes,
Exactly.
yeah.
You don't know who they're with. You don't know how they're getting home from a night out. And it genuinely, it fucks me up because I can't go to bed
Yeah.
until I know everyone is back home. We still have two. My youngest is 23, but two of my kids are still living at home. Although one of them is now over in Canada at the moment. She's traveling for 3 months. So that adds to more worries. She's been sending me lovely photos of her in Canada. And all I keep thinking of is, God, there's bears there. What happens if a bear comes and gets? So I'm always a glass half empty kind of
Do
guy,
they
you know?
call you does everybody call when you get home? When they get
Yeah,
home?
yeah, yeah, they
Okay.
do. They do. I mean, they will.
You should do a month like a daily Zoom. Like my family, they do since COVID when Zoom first came out, we do a Zoom call every day at 6 o'clock.
Right.
Now, do you do like you well if you can maybe have the subscription or something that's free
Yeah, we
and
have a
everybody check in.
we have a WhatsApp like
Oh, there you go. Yes,
family
yes.
chat. So we're always all saying that, how is everyone? Everyone good? Yeah. I mean, my other daughter is over in Spain at the moment on holiday with my mum and dad and two of our grandkids. So everybody is all spread out. Normally, everybody is all in a 10-minute
Mm-hmm.
walk
Yeah.
from each other. Whereas, in a couple of weeks' time, my wife is going on holiday with two of my grandkids with my other daughter. So it's like all of a sudden I've been, like, say, I went to LA on my own in August, and me and my wife went to Florida in April. So everybody's been this year. It's crazy how everyone is
Yeah.
just like, this year has been going off every places, but it's great that they can all, and I want that. I want my
Yes.
kids to go off and do amazing things. But my God, it's so stressful. It's so
Do they get to
stressful.
see this side of you? Do they know the depression side? Do they
I
see it?
they do, and they also know that I like worry. I think I worry too much. But whereas on the scale of it, my wife is very, come on, get on with it. So she's at one end of the scale, and I'm right
Yeah.
at the other end of the scale. And you make sure you call me. Make sure just send me a message and
Yes.
let me know that you're
Yeah.
home and you're okay. And I'm too much that way. I wish I was a little bit more in the
Mm-hmm.
middle, but.
Mm-hmm.
But they know, and obviously being younger, they think, "Oh, Dad, don't worry, everything's going to be fine," and it will be fine. But
Yeah.
I'm always worried about that one time when it's not going to be fine because you
Yeah.
see
You
news
don't know what
stories
it
about it.
is.
Yeah, and I'm always thinking that the bad thing is going to happen, so then I'm happily surprised when it doesn't. If that makes sense,
Yeah,
you know?
that does make a lot of sense. And that's the thing, like we do lean to our wives. We need our wives. Like I know
Yeah,
I do, and I know for sure you do.
yeah,
My wife has already, like, I had to watch her go through anxiety and depression, and that was the first time I ever had to go through someone suffering with anxiety and depression and go through the waves of it before getting any type of treatment for it. So I know for sure I wasn't the best that I could be to assist her with that, because I'm like, why are you upset, or why you always want to take a hot shower? Because when you have depression, you want to take a hot shower. I haven't gotten that far where I'm like, let me just take this long hot shower. But then when I get in that mood, I understand, let me just go take a shower. And or why, with the crying, or I'm feeling like jittery or stuff like that. So I'm like, why? And then now with her getting great treatment for it, there's moments where if she's not all right, but it's not where it was before. And I can ask, like, how are you? How are you doing? This and that. But if
yeah,
I know for sure we are not where we were before, that we are where we are now, where it's not, let's go, we're in the supermarket, let's get back home because there's too many people around. We are
mm,
in a different place. So where she functions with her anxiety is, whoever is giving her the energy that she does not want, I don't need to entertain it, or whatever is happening right now, my go-to is, well, what's the solution? Because this can't bother me. What is the solution? I
yeah,
work off a solution. I've been in collections for about 10 years. So my thing is, you called me. What is the solution here? Like, what is the next steps? I can't with all the long talk. What? Because that's just been the type of job that I've had. When it comes with her, it's like, all right, you're in this depression. What's going on? We're gonna fix it. What's the solution? Like, how this is the next thing. And I'm like, you're moving too fast. I'm so like, but I'm not there. I'm not where she was, where it was really bad to go get. I'm still in the baby. I feel like the baby stages of receiving depression, and not that much of anxiety, because not, something bothers me, I'm going the other direction. I'm figuring out how to fix it right now. So when it's depression, it's like it won. You
Yeah.
know, they
Yeah.
always like, don't let depression win. Sometimes you cannot control it. I don't
Yeah.
have things in my head talking to me. I just have it where it's the cloud comes and it's like, yo, it's here for a freaking minute. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. I think when it comes, it always wins. I think it's just
Mm-hmm.
how you let it win is the
Yeah.
thing. I think you just have to concede, don't fight it, and it's taken me a long time to work that out. But I also think the saying that kindness kills is also another.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't believe that until the summer when I went over to LA for 4 days and met up with some friends, and I was doing a bit of singing over there, and I had 4 days where it was nothing but people, strangers, people that I knew online, but not people that I knew personally.
Right.
I had 4 days of people just being really, really nice to me. And it was, after a while, it got very unsettling because it felt like this was a hidden camera show and somebody was going to come up and go, actually, these people don't like you at all. Ha ha, it's a joke on you. And it got to the point where I thought to myself, and I got anxious because I was being surrounded by all this kindness. So it wasn't people being nasty. It was people being absolutely lovely and putting you on this sort of pedestal that made you think, I felt
Right.
this can't be right. This doesn't happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I got home, and I came home and my wife was at the door and gave me a hug, and I thought, oh, that's lovely. And the first thing she said to me was, I need you to do the washing. Can you just get the washing? So straight away, it put me straight back down to earth, which is the beautiful thing that my wife does. If I start getting big headed about the fact that people in a pub will shout my name and say, Pav, we love you, all I need is my wife there to say, just do the
What
washing
the
up.
heck? We are like in the same boat, because it's so crazy. Because literally, I'm like, I'm like, look, because when I first started streaming, I had probably like 10 people. I moved from Twitch to TikTok and I have 100 people, the lowest about 50. And I'm like, I never had this before. This is great. She'll come around. Great. And tomorrow you're going to make sure you play that same game, right? Okay. Like, cause to make sure that they like, and I'm like, yes, yeah, okay. Right. So what I said for you to do, it did it the way it was supposed to, right? Like, yeah, all right, good. But good job, though. Good job.
But you need somebody like that,
Yes.
don't you? You need somebody that is just going to grab
back.
you and just say, right, hang on a second. You're not as good as you think you are. You're good, but you're not as good as you think you are. Just grind yourself a little bit and move on a little bit. And I think if you've got somebody that is just as I don't know, just is just too much in your head, like you are, like I am.
Yeah,
it can be bad news. It can be bad because you can walk around thinking that, like, well, an English phrase that, like, your shit doesn't stink. You can walk around.
We say that too.
Oh, do you say? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. But it is. You can walk around thinking, I'm the best. I'm the best. And you're not. You're not the best. There's always somebody worse than you. And there's always somebody better than you. I've always said that. It doesn't matter how good you think you are. There's somebody better than you at everything that you can do. But there are loads of people that are worse than you at what you can do. So that's it's like I said, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, because even like you said, all the praise you received, I received when I came out with a podcast episode, and I was in the car and I was just speaking really raw. Like, it was normally, this is how it is: headphone here, microphone here, camera here. And I'm like, yeah, here we go, another episode. Blah, blah. This time I put the camera up in the car. I'm driving to work. I said, you guys ain't shit. People are just fake. I can't. What is going on? The friends that you thought were the friends, they're not around. Where are they now? It's called Where Are Your Friends Now? I'm like, where are your friends now? They're part of my wedding. I don't see them now. And I'm like, after that, I guess it was out for a good while. Text messages come in. I'm like, all right. Okay, I'll take whatever. God, I loved it. It was great. I love this side of you. Please keep doing this. We love the raw side. Oh my God, I could really relate. Oh my God, I was about to cry. This was really good. Oh my God, I loved it. And it was a lot of shares. It was, and that's how some of the episodes have been going. That's how some of the streams go. Yeah. And I'm like, a lot of times I will get shy to the comments, and I'm very humble. So I'm very humble and I'm appreciative, and I always give the compliment right back to the person. And that could just be about a host. You have people come into your circle, your bubble, you're listening, you make them feel welcome, you make them feel appreciative. When people send me gifts on TikTok when I'm live, right after that, the next day I go right to the DM and I'm like, thank you so much for your generosity, thank you so much for watching. I'm very thankful, very humble. And then, we have those moments, which is okay, to be like, look at this, I'm that person, like I'm that. And then thankfully we have our wives to say, bring it back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bring it back.
Yeah, it's so helpful to have that, just to give you that little check. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really great to have that, and to also, relate with someone else on like, how do we maneuver with depression, anxiety? Do you have any like, when you go into the super, like for her, when you go into the supermarket at the time, it's like, all right, I'm leaving. It's like too many people. You have anxiety more than you have depression, or is depression more?
I think it's depression more. I think
Mm-hmm.
I tend to get the anxiety when I know that the depression is when the big black bear's got his shoulders on, hands on my shoulders.
Right.
That's when the anxiety tends to come in. I must admit, when we went to London, it was the first time we were in the underground, and I don't do confined spaces very well.
Yeah,
But
I was there.
it was very, very busy, and it was the first time I said to my missus, I said, can we get a cab? Because I really don't. And luckily, by the time we got to the bit of the underground where we needed to be, it had cleared out a little bit, and it was fine. But yeah, when it gets to things like confined spaces and lots of people, that thing where you start breathing a little bit heavily and that kind of stuff, it tends to really just. I've never had a full-on panic attack, but
You would if you was in New York City train station.
I bet I would.
You got to stand up and hold it. There's no seat.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah. And the trouble is, I'm always, again, I always, whether I'm going on a plane or going on any kind of public transport, I always think today's going to be the day when there's going to be some kind of tragedy, where the train's going to leave the tracks, or the plane's going to crash, and people are saying no, because it's like, it's 5,000 to 1. I said, yeah, but there's the one. There's that one. You think of how many flights there are a day, and it's like, I don't know what the odds are of a plane crashing. And if anybody's listening to this on a plane, don't worry, it's not going to crash. Don't worry, it's fine. But it's always that. There's always that.
It will only happen if you were on there, because then you would think that today is that day.
Exactly. And I'm always, whenever I'm on a plane, I always look like on the sides of the plane just to see there isn't any bolts that are a little bit loose, or, always, every single time. And I know it's going to be fine, and I know that I'm going to be asleep anyway, so it doesn't matter, because I'm not going to know anything about it. So
I get on there, go right to sleep.
as you get older, every time, like if I get a little, if something twinges in my body, I'm going to go, oh my God, heart attack. Oh my God, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah, that's my wife now. Yeah.
But that's, I know it's not, but it's my brain going, oh my God. I said, but the twinge was in my leg. Yeah, but the leg could easily go up to the heart. It could be a heart attack. It could be the start of a heart attack. So it's, oh my God. But you've got years before you got to worry about that, Cassandra. You've got years. You haven't got to worry about that until you get
But my wife is 28. She's doing the same thing you're doing. So even though we got years, and no, you're trying to comfort me. No, she's going through the same thing right now. And me, I'm like, I watch all the 911 shows and episodes. I watch that, Good Doctor, all that. So that type of side of being like anxious in certain areas is possibly coming from not being in that position at all, because my mom has been someone who just gets on the plane, she'll go travel by herself, she'll go, we watch the 911 shows, and like we're alert to it. And if it comes to me, I'm like, just I can't, somebody save me type of thing. But it's like I haven't gotten to that. Wait, is this, but I see it with her and I'm like, just get on the plane, just sit down. I'm like, no, you see him over there? Well, at the plane, the guy's tapping the wall, back and forth, tapping the wall. He said, you see him right here? Then we sit down in the plane. The guy turns around and said, that's the pilot. I'm like, he just wanted to tell his friend that that's the pilot. But she's like, no, don't go to sleep. He said that's the pilot. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's crazy. But then if you look into anything, it's gonna, with you wouldn't leave your house or your apartment if you worried about every single thing.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's more when you're in those bouts of depression and anxiety that they become more amplified. They just become more amplified, and you just think about stupid things more than anything else. But
that's so true. That's so true. Bob, thank you so much for today. Like, we were discussing. I love the sound. We were discussing our microphones, right?
Yes.
I have Pod Roll mic, and you have Shure. You love Shure?
I do. And the thing is, we were saying before you pressed record that there's a lot to do with like image things, isn't it? And and as soon as you see someone like Joe Rogan has got like this kind of microphone, this is the cheaper, shorter version of the ones that a lot of these professional podcasters have got. But I think in your head, and again, like I said to you before, you can
really fine.
Well, that's very cool. But you can do it just off your phone if you really wanted to. And when people say to me, I live in a little town where I've been doing this 11 years and people still don't know what a podcast is. You know, it's so frustrating that you got to explain what a podcast is. But there, you know, anybody that has said I've come across and they've gone, I'd love to do a podcast. I said, well, do one. Just grab your phone, record into your phone, and do it. It's so easy. I said you'll get so much reward. But people see Joe Rogan and think, God, we could make millions. I said, no, you can't. You won't make any money out of it. But go and do it because it's fun. You know, but the things like this is that, you know, I've got one of these Rodecaster Pros as like a mixing desk kind of thing. All of that kind of stuff. It means that it when somebody's listening to it, it sounds like it's a really professional. And the image of it is that, oh, he's got one of these. He must be a professional podcaster. Not a professional podcaster, you know, but I've been doing it 11 years. But nobody's going to care because, like you say, as long as it sounds good and, you know, you're doing stuff that people can listen to and have fun with or learn from. Podcasting is one of the greatest inventions ever because it's something that literally everybody can do. Yeah. And I would recommend it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. People will hear exactly what you said right now, but somebody still wants to sound like how we both sound. They still gonna want the headphones. They're still gonna want to know what software you're using, what tools you have. You guys sound great. I sound like a robot from my phone. I want to sound like that. I've literally am there. I've been there. I've had a perfect regular streaming microphone. I said, no, I see them on the pod mic. I want to sound like the radio station. I want to sound like this. So whatever we just said, they're going to listen. They're still. Yeah. But make sure, don't let the perfectionist overkill your momentum of starting a podcast.
I agree. But the other thing is, you see, I could be doing this for another 50 years and I'm still not going to sound as cool as you are because you've got that accent. So, you know,
your accent, I love.
No.
Come on,
I mean, I don't care what part of America you come from. You just anybody with an American accent, and because you've got the New York, it's just you've just. I mean, you could just literally recite the dictionary, and it's going to sound cool. That should be your next like podcast. Is just each word from the dictionary, and it's just going to sound cool. It doesn't matter what you say.
But maybe only the people from UK will feel that way.
No, I don't think so. I think when you come to like New York, it's one of those accents that just sounds cool no matter what, you know.
No, that's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. And you said this is Pav from Top 10 Pods. Where can we find you? Everybody's gonna know. We're gonna put in the link for the video and the order, but where? Tell us.
Well, it's the podcast is called the Top 10 of Anything podcast. What we do is we take a subject and we take a guest, and then we count down our top 10s. You'll find us on all the good podcasting apps and the bad ones, and all of the social medias. We're at Top 10 Pods. That's TOPTENPODS. We're on YouTube as well, and TikTok, and all of those other everywhere. Yeah, we've got 100
everywhere, guys.
I think we've got about 150 odd episodes up at the moment with subjects ranging from, you know, the greatest Harrison Ford movies to the best uses of the C word in movies to the best swear words ever to the favorite, what we call crisps, favorite chip flavors and things like that. It's just everything and anything. Yes. So yeah, and we got some great episodes coming up as well. Okay, come out every Monday, and also we've got a Patreon as well. Which is patreon.com/top 10 pods. Everywhere.
I haven't gone on Patreon yet. Haven't put anything in yet. Is it visual or audio?
It's both. We're on like all Apple Podcasts and Spotify, but we're also on YouTube as well. Yeah.
Okay, so do you recommend visual on Patreon?
Well, we have both on Patreon as well. We have for our
Okay.
Patreon subscribers, they get the episodes 5 days early and ad free as well. But they can also get them on get the video episode, and also for our top two, we do 3 tiers, and the top 2 tiers also get a video playlist of everything we talk about in the episode. There's a video playlist I put together as well, and then every so often we put other episodes up and different bits and pieces up for bonus episodes just for the top 2 tiers as well. And the top tier is only $5. So
yeah, you can make it your own on Patreon.
And you can also, you can also come and be a guest. If you're on that top tier, you can come and be a guest on the episode as well. And you get a nifty little button as well.
Look at that.
We're just giving stuff away. Just giving stuff away.
Just give it. This is why they want to be a professional like yourself.
And if only I was doing this as a job, wouldn't it be wonderful?
Yeah, this is a great time. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Cassandra. It's been a real pleasure. Really lovely.
Absolutely. Any other time, you let me know, whatever you need, and you always could be a guest here on Just Winging It.
You need to come on and do a top 10 with us. That's what you need to do.
You let me know. I'll make the time. You see, I get up early. It's fine with me.
Absolutely. We'll get one sorted for the new year, because we've got all our episodes sorted for the rest of this year.
Okay.
But for the new year, come on and we'll find a cool subject to do, just so that I can hear your voice and hear that accent.
I'll be like A, B, C. No,
that's it.
This was so great. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Cassandra.
No problem.